Well, hi. There, there's been a few changes. Let me just take this to sell, and I shall explain just what's kind of happened. Because you're gonna see a few changes to the farm as we go past. So you will notice that I've been clearing. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. Brilliant start to the stream, right? Video, not stream. Right. Let me just get this all back auto-loaded. And, yeah, then we will, progress. And I shall remember what I should have done last time, which is, strap everything in. Okay, turning volume up just a little bit. The volume is a little bit quiet. Not there. There it is. Let me just do the choppy chops. There we go. It's only 1.2 tons. It's fine. Anyway, so what happened is there are now more crops on the farm, which took a lot of testing, and a big thank you to Freya of Farmer Bob's Discord. But I needed a way, because I pretty much ended up harvesting fields, and I kind of needed a way of getting, how can I say this nicely, getting rid of the money without being obvious about it, because I did make money out of the rye and everything. And I need to rub out this grass, that's fine. But yeah, so how I did that was by going ahead and buying the land opposite. Because that was the only thing I could think of doing. So now we are making the land into legit money. Because, as I say, I ended up with a considerable amount. And at least this way, you know, I've cleared the land. Oh, no, stop unloading. Reload, please. That was the wrong side. 0. There we go. That's the side I needed it to auto unload on. So with the amount of wood that I've got, I have took the decision to use the auto loader and sell to the sawmill, because there's a lot of tree here, as you can see, and it would take me all day to clear this without using an auto load trailer. So the first thing we're going to do, well, the first thing I'm planning on doing is actually letting you take a look around the farm. So that is kind of my first plan. Okay, that should let me turn this around. Just as much as we need. So there is now a farm shop. I've been adding more areas to sell things on the farm, and it makes sense to me to have that little farm shop there. As you can see, I've built a logging road. That's a temporary road, but it might become permanent, so that I have a place, you know, to drive along. And wow, look at how neat that pile of wood is, just waiting to be loaded. That didn't work out how I wanted it to. Okay, we're going to try this again, but we're going to be a bit further. We're going to try about there. No, we're not loading at the back. Change number of piles. One. Right, now let's start to auto load the wood because I don't really need 2 piles. One is plenty. That lets me load the maximum width of wood. There we go. Right, now that I have started, now I've got that sorted, let me show you around the farm. So we have sort of turned this top entrance, question mark, into where we're gonna have where we have the little farm shop. So let me bring you up to here so that you can actually have a look around. Let me just get rid of that. So this is our farm shop entrance. We also have a government subsidised grate. We've got some, well, it's a very busy, productive farm shop, okay? On top of that, so this is where the staff sort of sit. We've got postcards. It's quite a nice little shop, as you can see. Shh, don't tell anyone that I didn't do anything. Let me just I'll just put that here, it's fine. I really wish that I could put them back in, but I can't. So anyway, this is the farm shop entrance. There's not really a lot of places to park, but there's enough. There's the government subsidised drain, and this is where we deliver goods to the farm shop. As you can see, I've kind of tried to leave it so that I can cut on through. These are new, so I've got some poplar trees planted here. And I had to do a bit of work on the yard. The yard has actually gone back a bit, and this has changed spaces, but that's fine because it gives me a dedicated spot to put a combine if needed. We have this house here. This is where my house is now. That's probably going to move at some point. I'm definitely going to landscape all this because, in fact, you can see where I found some rocks and I sort of, well, I planted some pretty little birch trees around here. Yep, they're pretty. I also found a pallet that I'm going to just kind of move around here. Because at some point that'll go. I got myself a pickup truck. We have 2 workers' hands. One of them is the worker, though, that is working for us at this farm shop. We've got the grasslands ready to harvest. So they all got replanted. Because what happened when the new crops were installed was it converted all the terrain back into, how can I put it, into scrub. So we've got flax growing in this one. I've got millet growing over there. It looks very pretty, by the way. So this is the millet crop. This one is getting close to harvesting. I've got a sneeze stuck, so I might end up sneezing. Bless me. And then this field, which was originally going to be buckwheat, has become peas. So, yeah, as you can see, there's kind of been a lot of work being done on here. We've got some really big fields. But all this means is that I need to make sure that I have my combines brought. Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to harvest any of this. So, as I say, I've got lentils there. And the plan is that this field over here, this area here is also going to get fields put in it. And yeah, that's about as far as I've got. So, no further ado, I guess we'd best start to cut the wood down. Is that too long? I think that might be a bit too long. We'll see if it... Never mind, it took it. Happy days. Because I am a big fan of the less I have to cut, the better. Because I am, by my nature, lazy. So if I can get away with cutting this into maybe 3 pieces, then that is a bonus. Now, there's a DLC, well, there's a pack, mod pack that I'd love to have on this. Sadly, it's not currently compatible with Lumberjack, but I am watching the emergency pack with great interest because if it ever becomes compatible with the Lumberjack mod, it's getting added into my game because especially in this file, because it just gives me a different type of job to do. And for those who don't know me, I love having different jobs, different things that I get to play around with, different things, different challenges, and okay, it may not be for everyone, you know. Some people just want to farm in their farm sim game, and I ain't gonna yuck anyone's yum. I ain't gonna tell anyone, you know, that no, you need to have this mod in. Because ultimately, everyone has different preferences. But for me, it intrigues me. Now, I'm not from a farming family. But I do know that there's a constant risk of bale fires, because it's something we constantly, when I used to do a lot of horse riding, it's something we were constantly watching out for. When we took hay deliveries, we were being very aware of how it was stacked. Was it damp wood? Was it damp wood? Was it damp hay? Was it not damp hay? There was a lot of thought process coming in, and if we were aware that it was something that could smoulder and start a fire, you can bet your bottom dollar we were... Oh, I'm in a hole. That was not what I was going to say, by the way, but you can bet your bottom dollar we were doing our best to effectively manage the risk. So even just to be able to maybe have, as an example, a stack of wood, or not a stack of wood, a stack of bales, that, especially grass bales, that really heated up, maybe they were fermenting, and I'm going to have to fill in that hole, because I'm going to keep falling down it, and it's going to get very annoying. But yeah, there were grass bales that were fermenting, and the fermenting produced heat, and they started to smoulder, which is all very possible. Yes, I am now making stacks of wood by the roadway through. You know, this is all stuff that can happen, and no one noticed it smouldering, and boom, you have a barn fire, you have a bale fire, basically. So, people saying that it's not something that would happen, that farmers wouldn't be rescuing people, I can agree with that, but you know, farmers would not typically be rescuing people from cars. They wouldn't be using the jaws of life, as we call them in the UK. Absolutely not. But to say that farmers wouldn't be experiencing and dealing with fire is... Now, there's videos on YouTube where something is set on fire, or a JCB is set on fire. A JCB hauling something got set itself on fire, or something happened and it ended up on fire. And the farmers did their best to save the JCB before the fire truck arrived. Most vehicles... I think I'm full. Yeah, I think that's a sign I'm full. Especially in the UK, especially for commercial purposes, have extinguishers in them for just that reason. So that if there ends up being a vehicle fire, just turning the rig around, it can be put out. I'm going to owe them at least 10,000 from this, by the way. But this is why I took the agreement I did with the they don't need to know I keep flipping the lorry. It's fine. Car, I won't park that close to my house if I were you. I'm kind of dangerous. That could cause a fire, to be fair. You know, I'm driving this at some... maybe not the biggest speed, but I'm driving this at speed. You know, that could quite easily start a valley. And look at this. This reminds me of something else that I am absolutely going to bring to the channel. So I've been playing offline a game, Derail Valley. We didn't tip it that time. That is something that is absolutely going to come onto this channel, because I'm having a blast playing it. No, I don't need to tell you all of these things, but I want to. Because I consider everyone who tunes in your friend. A friend, you know? So... And I like to talk to my friends about what I'm planning. Well, I think we're going to be able to afford a decent combine. I think we might be able to afford 2 decent combines and possibly a bigger tractor. I just want to sell all this wood first before I make my purchases because... Well, there's a tractor I'd love to have. And if I have the money to buy the tractor that I'd love to have and the combine, well, that's just great. Totally didn't take any pain off it. It was fine. It was fine. It was just a bit of a tight squeeze. The car should expect this going down this sort of road. I mean, I'd love to actually have a full setup like this, but I don't think I'm going to afford that. Not for a long time. Right. Jobs I need to remember to do in this field, though. I need to fill in that hole. I know normally every hole is a goal, but that is not a goal. Oh, it could make a nice water feature, I guess. No, we're filling it in. We don't need a nice water feature. Right. Start to trim this down to size a bit. There we go. I was going to say take it. It took it all. Oh, it nearly took it all. Take it. Here we go. I deliver tribute. Perfect. See, I've got a hole to fill. I want to sell the rest of this. Oh, I missed a bit of tree. Tree has been detreed. No more limbs on tree. And I want to get a harvester. Preferably 2, because if I can get a forage harvester and a normal harvester, happy days. Another bit of tree I missed. What none of you saw was, you didn't see the amount of chaos of me just felling every tree on this piece of land. And I mean every tree. I literally had it so that you couldn't see. You could literally not see wood for the amount of foliage from felled trees. This is very, very tidy. Because I've spent time, you know, tidying up the chaos. Okay, you need to come over here. You need to not try and... You need to not... Can you not try and take out my trailer? Thank you. Put you there. And... there. And I turn around and... my wood is missing. That came out wrong. There we go. Can I just shifty you along and... Thank you. Once I have finished, you know, dealing with the chaos, that's what I'm calling it now, then I think I'll be busy transporting machinery, trying to finish that yard off. All that fun stuff. And things. There were some little scrub trees that I also got rid of. Because no one's got time for that. I'm going to say hello. Can you pick, please? Right. Let's strap it down. Turn it on. I've just realised what that sounded like out of context. I'm going to put this in a time lapse before I put my foot in my mouth any further. Part of me wants to have the horses on this as well, but they're going to take a certain amount of investment. Right, okay, so actually this bit here might give you an idea of just how much tangledness was in this area. Because this was absolutely a snapshot as to just what this bit was like. But as I say, I'm going to put this on a time lapse. I will see y'all once I've finished loading my wood. Some days you just have to play with your wood, okay? And some days you have to say things and they sound absolutely wrong. But I will see you after the time lapse. Enjoy!
part of one of the most active VTCs in Europe.
Well, that was a lot of logs. Now let's see just what I can afford to, well, buy with all that wood. Who thought that selling my wood would make me 176k? Let me get back to the farm first so that I can actually, you know, look at my laptop, and we're going to go from there. I'm also seriously contemplating getting some beehives in, but I need to find the right spot to put them. Okay, so I know I need a harvester. So I know I need a combine, and I also need two separate headers. That's going to give me a 99% yield. I know what harvester I'd like to buy. It's just is it in my price range. That's where the issue lies. I would also like to buy a baler. Oh, we got chickens, by the way. And I did buy some wheat for them. And apparently I was just throwing the wheat on their head. It's fine. Let me just drop this down here for now. Right, anyway. Let me just head into my house, or head over to the house, and we'll go from there. I did get cobbles laid in the yard, by the way. Okay, so, what do we got? Let's check in this for sales, this section first. I mean, that IT runner is tempting. That forage harvester is tempting. That is very tempting, but I absolutely can't afford that. That is also very tempting, but again, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I'd love to afford that, but I can't afford it. And same with that. Right, so there's nothing in that section. Let's have a look at the proper harvesters, as in paying full price for one. I don't feel like that's my smartest idea, but maybe I can pick up a nice class. I mean, that Dominator is tempting. It has 7,500 litre tank. I don't want to go for something old. That's what I'm trying to avoid. That's tempting. It's not the newest, but it's not the oldest. It's 55,000 for a 5,600 litre tank. Or, I mean, does that harvest everything? So it harvests maize, and it harvests linseed, and it harvests beans. Yeah, that's going to harvest everything, so... You know what? Yeah, we're going for the class. So that's one thing purchased. Now I need to get the headers for it, so I need... I'd love that, but that is overkill. So is that. I don't need anything that big. I'd like something a bit bigger than that, though, because that's going to take me a bit of time. 4.5. 5.1. That's 5.1. Okay, I think we will actually go for that. This header. I still have it set up that I've got the shop here, haven't I? Oops. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, to be fair. It saves me having to do anything else. And then, do I need one of these? No. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Everything I want to harvest can be harvested with that. Perfect. So now let me look at the tractors. Because No, I need baler. I love how I'm telling myself what I need and I'm sort of looking at everything but what I need. That is tempting. That is also tempting. And that is also tempting. No, let's stop looking at what we'd like to have. Let's get the baler first. I know which baler I want to get. It's a bit of a cheaty. Do I need a baler though? Yes. And I need a baler that's going to do straw. Oh, but that is very tempting. That is exceptionally tempting. I mean, I shouldn't, but I kind of want to. But then if I go for this, then it will do everything. Yeah, I think we're going to go for this. I think my truck should be able to haul it. We're going to go for class. Rear hitches. Should we have a rear hitch? Probably not. Yes, we'd like the silage additive tanks. I'll have class green wrap. My main colour is going to also be the class green. The rim colour I would like to have black. There we go. So, let me just first of all hook you up. That was so much money. Hopefully it's going to be worth it. In fact, not hopefully, I know it's going to be worth it. Run into my own new purchase, because that's what you're meant to do. Park that there, and then it's a case of I guess bringing the Massey down. Oh, I absolutely need to give this poor machine a wash. I am so sorry. Ooh, I wonder if I can upgrade it a bit. Oh, we're not running into any chimkins. We don't want squished chimkins today. That could be an idea. Can I give this a wash and upgrade it while I'm at it? It got a bit coated in dust because I've been... Well, I was very busy sorting my fields out as well. Right. Let me turn it off. There we go. Can I have, please? I'm sorry, but I can't. And then I'm absolutely going to need to repair this, give this a service, because it's looking a bit worse for wear. There we go. That's trippy, but that's fine. You're looking a lot worse for wear. But if I can upgrade the engine on this, then that might help me out. I treat this with a lot of love, okay? Right, okay, so... Repair, yes. Customize. Is that more HP? I've already got the maximum HP, okay. What about if I change that to premium tractors? Okay, that doesn't change anything. Fair enough. Well, we are going to go and mowing, because I want to mow that field. And yes, I know I have that beautiful clamp that I could use. But right now, we're not going to use that beautiful clamp. Because right now, I want to see if I can pick up with the quick bail. Does help if I manage to not run into anything. I mean, we're not doing too bad. So I guess question one is going to be, I can run both. I can run both. We'll take that as a good start for a thing, that I can run both machines. Oh, I've got areas I need to seed on this. Oh boy, I've got a big strip of land that I need to remember to seed. But yeah, I can... This should make my job a lot easier. Absolutely not realistic, but... Who said anything about me being realistic in this game? This is not me playing a game to be uber realistic, just so we're all aware here, by the way. Yes, I have the challenge, yeah, I've got a lot of areas to seed up to make 10 million, but I'm not trying to do this super duper realistic. I just want enough of a challenge that I have to actually work a little bit, but I want to have fun with this at the same time. And this just kind of yeeting bales off the back of it is actually hilarious. And it means now that I can absolutely do silage contracts with no concerns. So that is all in all, well, I would call it happy days. Don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I definitely call this result and happy days. So we're just going to get little green cheese wheels. I think someone's described them as littered on the ground. As a sign of where we have been. And you know what? That is awesome. Could I condition the grass? Absolutely. But I don't want to. So I've got a definite 1, 2... I'm sure there's one up here. Maybe not. Maybe I was imagining the one up here. Yeah, I think I might have been imagining the one up here, but I'm nearly at 3. I just need to get the yield up. That's the biggest challenge, actually, getting yield up on this field. Is this one of the fields that benefits from, what do you call it? Can't remember whether grass benefits from bees on near it or not. But if it does, then we can very happily bee this field. Did you get the pun there? But I'm actually going to drop this into another time lapse so that you get to enjoy the chaos of me just yeeting out bales at rapid speed. Because that's pretty much what's going to happen. Bales will be yeeted. And I'll see you once I've finished this. So see you then.
An ocean, a cave, a dream that no one could save, a shelter, a whole act, a light that died with the night. You and I, we got our differences, yet I thought we were more alike than unlike. Months of rain and chest pain, what's the plan? Heavy breathing, stay insane. Grab my hand. Everything is grey inside this narrow maze. We speak but oh nothing. We run our separate ways. Do you ever think about me? Or are you busy with someone else? You and I, we got our differences, yet I thought we were more alike than unlike. Months of rain and chest pain, what's the plan?
just the last bit of grass to cut, and then it's just a case of well, I don't think I'm going to be able to make one last bale out of this. Unfortunately, it would have been nice, but then it'll be a case of actually I might be able to. I do have all my edges to mow, and I have a few missed bits. I might do an edge until I get the bale finished, because I don't want to leave this sitting in here waiting for my next mowing point. So I think if I just kind of try and neaten this up a bit and try and finish it off, you know, when I hit that point where it's fully loaded, which it's kind of coming up quite quickly. I mean, this is basically rough land, you know. And then just kind of trying to fill it up with the little snippets that I've missed. I think that's my best call here, because I don't want to end up starting a new bale accidentally. I mean, I could mow along this bit as well really carefully too. Yeah. Just in case of being a little bit careful. Let's see where I get to. Perfect. So, well, we know that works. So I can absolutely park this in my shed now. Not quite sure where it's going, but well, actually, I do have an idea where it's going, and it's going to be very, very messy, but it'll work. And then I've just got to move all those bales into the silage clamp. It's already getting put to use. And that's amazing, wouldn't you agree? It's not getting put to use what it should have been used for, but it's getting put to use regardless. Oops. I just need to make that a tighter turn. Too tight a turn. Let me just help this round a little bit. There we go. Oh. Class, your back end is too big. There we go. That's that all parked. Shut the door. Perfect. Right. So now we're just going to move these silage bales into the silage clamp. It's 1% fermented. And I just figure stacking them in the clamp is probably the best place for them. Even though they're not actually... Even though the clamp's not being used for silage at the minute, you know, it at least stores them somewhere where they're out of the way. They can sit and ferment, and it's all to do with silage, so not bad going. So how many bales do you think we've actually made? Let's count together. So I've got 3. 4. There's 5 and 6. I'm realising the problem with green wrap, and that's it blends in too well with the grass. Ooh, I'm just looking at all the various things that affect the yield. So there's 5. And here comes number 6. And I've got to pay the lumber mill 10k. Don't let me forget that. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd say, I think I've counted 11. This is fermenting quite nicely. I mean, it's already 2% fermented. Looking at that at least. So, we can't really complain. We can grumble. I mean, we can grumble, but let's not grumble because grumbling gets boring. And honestly, I'm glad to be back on this farm. That I am. It was odd last week knowing that I didn't have any videos to go out. I missed this farm where it was just a lot more. I don't want to say chilled or late. Oh, I've got 4 down here. It's fine. But yeah, I kind of missed this farm, which is it's stressful in a different way, but it's still absolutely enjoyable. Yes, it takes a lot of brain power from me to, you know, do the thing, but it's an enjoyable level of stress. You are not flipping on your side, thank you. So I've got 3. These bales have chosen chaos today. Look, I'm trying to stack y'all neat here. And y'all ain't having any of it, I can see. Right. 1, 2. Shuffle. Do the bell shuffler. I'm just figuring if I stack them up and leave a walkway, I can sort of sample the bells as I go along. There we go, so I've got a bit of a walkway down the side of my silage clamp. And it makes for easier counting as well. So I've just got another 3 bales, I think it is, to grab from back there. Yep, 3 more bales. And then we'll be able to... So each has got 6,750 litres of grass that's fermenting away. That could make a lot if I've got 12 bales and each of them are 6,750 litres. That feels like a lot. I mean, what's... Right, 10 times 12... No, 10 times 6 would be... 60. 2 times 6 is 12, so 60 add 12 is 72. I promise I know how to maths. 750 would be 7,500 if you times that by 10. So that would bring it to 79,500. Add 750 and 750. So 0 out of 0 is 0, nothing to carry. 5 out of 5 is 10, 1 to carry. That'd be 1,500 on top. So about 80,000, 81,000 litres of silage here. At a very rough estimate. Maths is totally my strong suit. Can you tell? I basically had to work that out in my head, and I didn't do well at maths. But that's fine. So that's that little job done. Now I'm trying to work out why I've got areas which didn't yield as well. Because all this is good. It's not perfect, but it's, you know, it's good. So I wonder if I can see anything on here that could clue me in. Because the thing is I need to make sure that I am getting maximum yield out of this. So environmental score 7. Right. So what am I looking at here? What is the issues here? So I've got loamy sand, sandy loam, and a little bit of loam in the top corner. That's why it's so good. It's decent pH. Is it the nitrogen that's the problem? Let me just repurchase that information. The yield. This is what I'm trying to work out. Why is the yield so low down here? Is that because that's where I've got loamy sand? That might be what it is, you know. That might be what it is, because I've only got loamy sand. Oh, I have this area to work on as well. Okay. Well, working on that can wait for another day. Because I would actually say, although I've got more hours in the day, I'd say we worked hard today. We did a lot. And I don't want to give you too much when I've just come back. But I've just remembered what else I need to do. I need to go ahead. Well, I want to put a shelter over the combine. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get myself a nice shed to go over the combine. Nice little combine shed. That would work. Except for some reason... Oh! I've just worked out why it was having a hissy fit at me. Another time, I mean, why it was having a hissy fit. That explains a lot why I couldn't put things back. Right. Applies with player, overlaps with object. Let me move my combine, because I think that is the perfect shed to sort of tap onto the end of here. It's certainly going to get things out of the way. Try 3. Yeah, I'm thinking if I kind of put this in like this, then landscaping, I want to finish painting the cobbles under there. And probably flatten the terrain out. There we go. And probably put a wall at the back of there so I don't accidentally reverse into my own property, because that would be embarrassing. That would be embarrassing. But I don't want anything too fancy. What about this? Yes, actually, that looks perfect. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. So let me just reverse this in now that I have made it an actual home on the yard. I like that. Now mind, I need to be a little bit more over this side, so just so I have space to squeeze through. There we go. And we have light. Yeah, that looks really good there, though. I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I think that does. Then I want to come up this way, because I've just remembered that I also need to flatten out the hole in the terrain over here. See, I do remember things. It just takes me a bit of time. And then I think tomorrow, well, the next month, we're going to start to plan out exactly what we're going to do here, because it could be horses, which I'd quite like. Where's the hole? There's a hole around here, so do I have... Ah, there's the hole. But I also really, 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 really want to make this into a yard type place. Not a yard, another series of fields, because honestly the more fields I have, the more I can grow. The more I can grow, the more money I make. There we go though. I at least have this all set up. But until the next time, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. That signpost was always not there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, do feel free to drop me a subscribe. Do feel free to like the video, because that really does help. And until next time, bye bye.